all of these big deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is, TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting the body. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did.
Wait a minute. Did Katt Williams just expose Diddy for offering him over $50 million to bend him over?
Because in 30 years, I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge, and your secrets.
Child, the details of Diddy's recent arrest are getting nastier by the minute because word on the street is Katt Williams was one of the many people that Diddy tried to violate at them freak-off parties. It turns out Diddy was so desperate to get a taste of Katt's hole that he even went as far as offering him over $50 million for a decade-long worth of access to his body. But get this, y'all. Not only did Diddy want to misuse Katt's body like this, but he allegedly put a clause in that contract that allowed him and his freak-off partners to sleep with Katt with no form of protection, lube, or baby oil. They just wanted to emasculate him and dive in raw. According to Katt, he has all the receipts to prove it, and he's more than ready to submit it to the feds the minute they ask him for it. Okay, so as most of y'all know by now, Diddy is currently rotting off in prison after Homeland Security arrested him for trafficking and transportation of unsuspecting into the U.S. for his infamous freak-off parties. In fact, as we speak, Diddy is currently facing up to 100 years in jail, and to make things even worse, a judge just denied his bail request, even after he offered $50 million, as well as both of him and his mom's multi-million-dollar mansions in Miami as collateral, and his passport and the passports of every single one of his kids. Yeah, even his innocent 1-year-old who literally just got here.
This man put up a $50 million bond. $50 million bond. And the judge still said, you're denied. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You're going to jail. You're finna be in chains. Out of all the news today, I think I'm still stuck on this $50 million bond, because if you look at the fact that in California, the average bail amount for is $2 million, and your bond amount is 10% of that, right? So that's $200,000. And you can pay your bond by putting up your house, putting up your assets, whatever the case may be. But this man paid off an $18 million home, and the judge still said, nah, you gonna sit in jail. I've talked about this before, but I'm gonna say it again. I don't care what you have. I don't care what your life looks like. I don't give a what other people have. I really don't. Because what did you do to get it? How did you end up in the position that you're in? Because the fact of the matter is, if you did something dirty to get where you are, you will have to pay the debt of your transgressions. You will have to pay it in full. It might not be on this side. It might be on the other side. But you will never escape the return on the investment that you made to get where you are. And the return on your investment might be jail. I'm just so shook. Like, you put up a $50 million bond and they said, nah, that ain't gonna work.
According to his indictment, which was released a day after his arrest, the charges that they arrested him on date all the way back to 2008. And the reason why he was able to get away with it for so long in the first place was because he wasn't running this enterprise alone. Apart from him having other very powerful people in his corner, he had several hotels across the U.S. on his payroll, and several other people who were in charge of making sure his victims stayed silent or sometimes even allegedly unalive. In fact, it was found that Diddy was the head of a criminal enterprise that engaged or attempted to engage in sex trafficking, forced labor, interstate transportation for purposes of prostitution, offenses, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. Apparently, Diddy would use force, threats, and coercion to get the women to engage with male workers in the freak-offs, which he arranged and recorded, creating dozens of videos. These bizarre freak-off events could last for days, and Diddy and victims would often receive IV fluids to recover from the exertion and use. Oh, but it gets worse, y'all. Since most of these victims were flown into the U.S. and forced to engage in all of these depraved activities that they absolutely did not want to be involved in, Diddy and his people would use loads of lubricants and baby oils on these women and men to easily enter their bodies. These lubricants and baby oils were discovered during the raid at Diddy's house a few months ago, and according to the feds, they found videos of the performances and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant, as well as and ammunition, including 3 AR-15s with defaced serial numbers in his bedroom closet in Miami. Now, as y'all can imagine, this was a major breakthrough for everybody in the case, because for a minute, it was starting to look like this case was just going to end with the lawsuits, and he wouldn't actually be doing any jail time. And y'all already know a lot of people were brought up, including Cassie, Jaguar Wright, and everybody who's spoken on Diddy in the past. However, one person that people could not help but bring up in all this was Katt Williams. Katt literally told us at the beginning of the year that 2024 was gonna be the year of truth-telling, and he did not lie. In fact, during his now infamous interview with Shannon Sharpe, he specifically talked about how Diddy was gonna be exposed this year. There is now a snippet of this interview going around in which Katt made some shocking claims about how Diddy offered him over $50 million, not once, not twice, not thrice, but 4 different times to engage in a freak-off.
All of these big deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light. Because the people want to know, well, why would he get blackballed?
Yeah,
oh, because
that.
In 30 years I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge, and your secrets. So if you and a man was in a corner doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing,
you will tell it.
No, somebody come to tell me.
Okay.
I gather that, I value that, I'll pay for that. Come, tell me. I know so many things I shouldn't know, and they all know it. They all know it. Why? Because you don't make me the villain, not the guy that raises black children and ain't never done a hard in his life and don't have no stories of doing nobody dirty.
Now, you're probably wondering why exactly Diddy would offer Katt such a huge amount of money that many times. Well, it turns out that Diddy was trying to recruit Katt to be a power bottom for these freak-off parties. Katt said he rejected the offers and made sure to stay clear of any Diddy party because that was the only way to protect himself.
Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. That's why I can say I'm so because I'm favored by God. Like, when I see people's wives and stuff, I don't even look at them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to look at nothing I don't want to have. Because I know how blessed I am. If I look at it, I got it. That's how Diddy be feeling.
Come on, man.
Katt also said that Diddy wasn't the only one who tried to make him a power bottom. He said there was a time that Harvey Weinstein explicitly demanded for him to suck his wood in order to get a movie role, but he said no.
They canceled me for talking about Harvey Weinstein before the thing came out, but he offered to suck my in front of all my people at my agency. What am I supposed to do? He did all of that. I'm thinking I'm the only black person on the script. I get there, it's 3 other black guys on there. Woo. Huh.
So you wonder what they did to get there?
I told him no. What y'all do? And this is why when I walk in a room, heads go down.
And then there was the time that Ice Cube and the producers of Friday After Next tried to get Katt to film a scene of him getting SA'd by Terry Crews because they thought it would be funny. Katt slammed them for this and said he wasn't gonna do it because there's nothing funny about somebody getting SA'd.
What I'm saying if I did it and I did a good job at it, you can thank me. I was involved.
Right.
I'm not gonna come later on and tell you, I never even read the whole script. So how you know what roles? What? What do you mean you never read the... These guys' whole job is to present something, unfortunately. And I'm just not a presenter. If you ask me a question, I'm just gonna tell you the truth of how it went. The Money Mike in the original script got in the bathroom, and that's what Ricky Smiley was okay with. Katt Williams had to take the risk in front of the studios and the cast and our powers that be in his very first movie and say respectfully, humbly, guys, if we're talking about anything else, I have no credibility and I have no pull. But we're talking about comedy,
Right.
where I have all the credibility and all the pull. The problem with Friday After Next is we're trying to make a classic comedy. And this comedy involves and is never funny, no matter who it happens to or what the circumstances are. If you would allow me to allow us to do this movie without a black man getting in it, I promise you that it will be twice as funny as it would be with him getting. So considering that's the real story, why would you bring up that story? 35 members of the cast and crew have never brought up that Ricky Smiley was gonna play Money Mike. No one ever saw me put on a Santa Claus suit. We got a wardrobe department. They made a Santa Claus suit for me. Why that wasn't in the bloopers? Why? And here's the other thing.
Child, this is crazy. And if Katt didn't have the morals that he has, he would 100% have been brutally misused and passed around the industry like a piece of meat. Some people even said they were surprised that Katt made it out of these situations alive, because Diddy rarely lets anybody go scot-free, especially after suggesting something like this to them, because he knows they would just go sing about it to the blogs. In fact, this behavior of his was exposed in his indictment when they said he choked, shoved, hit, and kicked people, causing injuries that often took days or weeks to heal. His employees and associates sometimes kept victims from leaving or tracked down those who were tired. He also used explicit recordings as collateral to ensure the women's continued obedience in silence. He also exerted control over victims by promising career opportunities, providing and to withhold financial support, dictating how they looked, monitoring their health records, and controlling where they lived. As the threat of criminal charges loomed, Combs and his associates pressured witnesses and victims to stay silent, offering bribes and supplying false narratives of what happened. The prosecutors also made some shocking revelations after they accused Diddy and an unidentified co-conspirator of kidnapping someone at point in December of 2011 in order to facilitate a break-in at another person's home. 2 weeks later, prosecutors wrote, Combs set fire to someone's vehicle by slicing open its convertible top and dropping in a Molotov cocktail. Child, it's a mess. Mind you, the trial ain't even started yet, and these are the things that he's being accused of. Most of these things are going to be explained into details in court, and it's only going to get worse for him. And as for Katt, he did his part by warning us all about this ahead of time, and now he's just sitting back and watching it all unfold. As usual, people have their own thoughts about this, like this person who said, Katt Williams said this would be the year where all things come to light. The door is open. Now more truths need to be told and come out into the light. Diddy is not alone. I've been grossed out by this weirdo for decades. Finally, big ups to Cassie, who was brave enough to speak up. Another person said, the deaths of Kim Porter, Tupac Shakur, and Biggie Smalls, as well as the 1999 nightclub for which Shine took the fall, all this needs to be investigated as well. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do y'all think about Katt exposing Diddy's $50 million freak-off contract? And do y'all really think that Diddy's gonna do 100 years? Y'all been knew what to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.